Let's go. And then he says, what about Molusco says, so remember, Molusco is obviously the guy on the left. So he says, and and what about Anuel?
Pues Anuel, o sea, como hermanos que somos, peleamos hoy, mañana hay amistad, o él
Well, Anuel, just like the brothers we are, we could fight today, we could fight tomorrow.
y peleamos, o sea, creo que la
Pero ¿por qué
relación,
pelean?
He says, I think that our relationship is, and then Molusco asks him, but why do you guys fight?
pues porque a veces estamos en diferencia en muchas cosas, o sea,
He's like, well, and many times we are in misunderstandings, or we have like different views of things. Yeah, we have different views of things.
tenemos cosas personales que somos tenemos muchas indiferencias, no estamos de acuerdo en muchas
We have personal things that we don't, applaud about each other, and and in that case, we have many things we disagree on.
cosas y a veces siente que yo le falté respeto.
Sometimes he feel like I disrespected him. Let me see. Let's put this on HD because I don't know why it's looking like that. All right, so he says that Anuel feels he disrespected Anuel. In what way?
Yo siento que me falté respeto.
He says, Ozuna says, I feel like he disrespected me.
¿Sabe? Como que en cuestiones, cosas de nosotros como amigos que somos.
And things like, and in a way, we're brothers and all, but
Y como cosas aparte fuera del negocio,
he says there's things outside of the business.
canciones, cosas bien bobas, ¿me entiendes?
He says, sometimes he believes that they're just dumb stuff.
Que si en verdad tú le pones a importancia, son cosas tontas, pero nosotros
He says if you really sit down and think about the things that we have misunderstandings on, you would be like, wow, it's really dumb.
tenemos un sentido de hermano, un sentimiento de hermano que
We have a brotherly love, or you have feelings to each other, brotherly feelings towards each other.
nos molesta ciertas cosas.
That, it just, we could be honest about how we feel towards each other. So, okay.
Ok. Pero ya, ¿cómo están hoy? O sea, tú
He's like, so Molusco says, so how you feel, how are y'all today,
ya amigo coge el teléfono o están encojonados?
No,
You guys are, cool, and if he calls you, you answer the phone, or what? Or you tight at each other?
no, ahora mismo en verdad estamos coño, en el modo hermano.
He's like, man, like, damn it, yo. Like, right now, we in, like, brother mode,
Que estamos chismados, ¿sabes?
He says, oh, we're in brother mode, and then he says, oh, we're tight at each other. Sorry for the background noise, guys. My kids are getting ready for bed.
Pues él está chismado conmigo, yo estoy chismado
¿Están
con él.
enchismados?
Oh, but you see, Ozuna clarifies it. Like, he puts Anuel first on the issues. Like, oh, Anuel's mad at me, and I'm mad at him. He's not making eye contact, so that's very important there. You see, so there's really something actually bigger than what they make it seem that's going on behind the curtains. Okay, and I'm gonna give you some details of what reason I believe, me being a urban artist page, and I'm following up always on their social media, obviously.
Ahora justamente ahora están enchismados.
Sí,
So Maluka's like, so right now, just right now, you guys are tight at each other. And he's like, yeah.
hay un pequeño, ¿cómo te digo? Con cariño, él está...
You see, it's just weird. He says, oh, with a lot of love, basically saying with love. So he's just not trying to make him feel weird. But he's going to tell us now.
¿Entiendes? Molesto porque a lo mejor yo no tiene
He's mad because
una canción, yo no hice esto, yo
he says he's mad at me because, maybe I didn't throw this song, or because I didn't do this. So he's referring to as it might be like a beef because of a song Ozuna made.
a lo mejor ya no me has llamado, llevas un mes sin llamarme.
Sí, porque
Or he says probably Anuel's mad at me because he hasn't called. I haven't called him like in a month or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe there's a song that was supposed to be released, Anuel did with him, and he hasn't released it. So maybe Anuel's tight at him, and as he just specified, Ozuna hasn't called him in a month.
es que justamente dicen que tú le tiraste una canción, él dice que tú...
Okay, Molusco is talking about the gossip that's going around now. Molusco is telling him, oh, so apparently you dissed him in a song, and he dissed you.
Después dijiste que no, entonces...
Okay, so no, he's saying, oh, there people are saying the gossip that's going around is that Ozuna dissed him in a song, okay, and then
Tú tuviste que aclarar en un live.
he had to clear his name on a live
Que tú no le
video
tiraste una canción,
that he didn't diss him in a song.
pero
No, es que no se le, vuelvo y te digo, cuando yo vaya a tirar el tiro con nombre,
He said, when I go to diss somebody, I'm going to diss somebody with name. When the song that I made wasn't really about dissing anybody specific.
no se va a tirar así. Si yo tiro, ¿sabes? No, yo no tiro, no me gusta hacer eso.
I don't like that, you know, because there's a lot of artists that are fake and they really diss. When people I believe like 90% of the time when people diss, they're dissing thinking about somebody. There's something that inspires you to diss. Okay, and most likely there's a name, but you're not gonna say it because I mean it's either not good for your career, and you don't want to ruin a relationship, or there's something that even though you want to diss that person, you cannot because that it is not to your convenience. That if that person, I mean, if you diss that person might fire back in a way you might not want him to. So that's the way I see it.
Porque no vengo de ahí, vuelvo y te digo, pero es con nombre. Las personas se tiran con nombre.
He says, "Oh, anybody you're gonna diss, you gotta diss with a name."
Es con nombre.
o sea, si tú tienes cojones con nombres.
Sí, vamos pues, si
He says, if you got Ozuna says, if you got nuts, you know, if you got cojones, then you're gonna diss somebody with a name. Molusca says, all right, so
tú vas por encima y tú tienes cojones, vamos por encima con el nombre, pero a Anuel yo no le voy a tirar porque yo le voy a tirar a Anuel.
he's like, why am I gonna diss Anuel for? There's no reason.
¿Cuál es la necesidad? Dime tú si hubiera una necesidad de yo tirarle a Anuel. ¿Cuál fuera? Si yo lo he apoyado siempre. Él me ha
He said, what reason should I diss Anuel if he's always, you know, he's got my back and I've always had his back?
apoyado a mí. ¿Por qué yo le voy a tirar? Ahora, lo que pasa es que si te dejan a los cizañeros.
He says, oh, well, obviously in this genre, you know, they got people that like to, you know, throw gas on the fire.
Pacho, papi, Ozuna dijo, Ozuna hizo,
Oh, Ozuna said, Ozuna did.
y a nosotros a veces se nos olvida, tanto a él como a mí, lo que
And sometimes him and myself, we forget about
hemos hecho uno por lo otro,
what we done, you know, for each other,
lo que hemos logrado,
what we have achieved.
cómo juntos hemos escalado muchas cosas.
Like together, we have climbed many things together or, you know, got over many obstacles.
Y cómo juntos hemos demostrado.
And together, how we've demonstrated to the world.
Y me incluyo.
And I include myself.
No me salgo, me incluyo, porque pasa.
So he says that, you know, he includes himself and he's saying that sometimes, you know, people want to gossip and talk and sometimes you could be influenced by that, you know, and he's including himself. So I respect that, you know, he's being honest.
Pero odio eso, los cizañeros.
But he says, I hate that, you know, the people that, you know, throw gas in the fire.
Ah, que tú dijiste, Hacho, mira este papi que te tiró.
Oh, you said this, you said that. Oh, look at this one. He dissed you.
Te dijo. Y a veces nosotros corremos,
Like the peer pressure, you already know.
¿me entiendes? Muchas veces, pues, como decimos nosotros, por batería, por el corillito de nosotros. Y papi,
So he says, oh, sometimes you already know how it is. You know, the peer pressure with you know, with the crew, our crew peer, you know, puts the peer pressure. And then sometimes you just like, you know, you don't even think and you just act.
pum, 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 ¿qué pasó? Y nos creemos y creo que, pero eso pasa.
You know, but it's weird because it seems like he's putting his foot in his mouth. Like, dude, you're just admitting that maybe because of your crew, you might have reacted in a way, even though you did it silently. So, you feel what I mean, people?
Creo que eso en un momento nos va a ver juntos de nuevo. Ese es mi hermano, ¿sabes? Lo apoyo siempre.
He says, oh, but eventually y'all gonna see us together again. That's my brother. I'm always gonna back him up.
Como él me ha apoyado a mí, te apuesto que hoy en día, que no nos pase nada, Dios nos
And I bet, you know, I hope nothing happens to us,
pide,
but
pasa algo malo en mi vida, él va a estar ahí. Igual
if something happens bad to me in my life, he's gonna be there and vice versa.
que si pasa algo en la de él, yo voy a estar ahí.
He keeps repeating himself. Right now, I sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's him he's repeating himself.
Pero el disco que ustedes iban a sacar juntos es
Here we go, something I wanted to talk to. So Molusco asks him, what happened with the album that y'all was gonna release together? Yes, people, yes. When Anuel AA came out of jail, which was approximately more than 2 years ago, okay? They collaborated for a full album, okay? I think it was called something about we the gods, like we as the gods. It never came out, and it still hasn't came out. So what is popping? We're gonna find out right now.
está en un hole enterrado 20 pies bajo tierra.
No, 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 no,
o
no,
va a
no.
salir algún-
He says, that album, is it buried 20 feet underground or is it ever gonna come out? And he says, no.
momento.
No, o sea, yo no.
Y hay temas ya grabados de ese disco.
Súper, ya hay temas grabados
He says there is there's songs recorded for that album.
y como te dije, en algún momento va a tener que salir
And eventually, he says, eventually, at some point, it's gonna have to be released.
porque es por la cultura. Así estamos molestos uno
Because it's about the culture, even if we're mad at each other. So who's putting the stop on the release of this album?
con otro, porque nosotros hacemos esto por amor, yo lo conozco, él hace esto por amor.
We do this for the love, you know. He does the music for the love, for the culture. So
¿Sabes? A nosotros nos gusta esto. So, en algún momento
we like this, you know.
nos vamos a juntar y pum, 7 temas juntos, 8 temas juntos.
So we in one moment, at any moment, we're gonna get together and we're gonna do 6, 7, 8 songs.
Hablando de gente que se...
So it seems like the album ain't even completed. That's weird. It's just weird. I just understand. Like, come on, like, I don't know. I mean, business is business and family is family. That's why I don't like the fact how people say, "Oh, we brothers" and stuff like that. Because think about it, you know, unless you have somebody that works, you has a proper the same work ethic, it's really hard for you to actually say when you're a big artist, "Oh, we're gonna work together. We're gonna do this and that." You know, like if you're having beef and you call somebody your brother, you ain't gonna want to work with him, and that's the problem. Like usually when you have somebody you call your brother, like there's so many things like you have to contain yourself. You know, you can't. I mean, I feel like I could be honest with a stranger that I'm about to work with and be like, look, this has to get done this way. If not, we're not gonna work together. Period. That's that. But when you have somebody you call your brother, you know, even if like you lend your brother your PlayStation, your Xbox, or something that's really valuable to you, and your brother takes it and he messes it up, you know, like this in some type of way you could tell him how it is and think everything's gonna be good, but sometimes maybe your brother is just immature. And I mean, in this case, he ain't a blood brother, you feel me? Even though they've been through stuff together. But you know how, you know, a lot of people are disloyal. And, you know, the person I call my brother, he'll go and he'll break my Nintendo Switch. You know, I'm gonna be like, yo, you broke my Nintendo Switch. You're gonna pay for it, bro? Oh, no, right now, I don't got money. Oh, wow. So that really creates a beef. Like, yo, you just broke my shit and you know, you're not gonna pay for it? You know, you're acting like you don't give a shit, like it's nothing, and then the dude will probably disappear. So it's like it's kind of bad when you make some arrangements for people that you call your family, you know, and they really ain't respectful. Some people just don't know what you had to go through to obtain something, and then it's like for them, maybe for one of them maybe came easy, the other one maybe had it harder, you know. So some people they lose disrespect or they lose that vision they had towards that person. But let me just continue here.
se molesta. Rapetón estuvo lanzando una foto.
So he's talking about this vlogger Rapetone. I gotta check if they're still talking about Anuel.
De Pacho de Antifeca, que tuve la oportunidad de entrevistarlo también hace unos meses atrás.
So he said Rapetone released a song, a photo of some artist called Pacho, which is a hood artist.
Dijo, esta es la verdadera cultura.
He says something about this is the real culture.
Déjame, no quiero ponerle palabras en la
He's looking for the picture.
boca
Claro.
de Pacho al garete. No quiero que después me estén tirando un rafagazo aquí en mi cantadera.
He said, "Oh, I don't want people dissing me in my Instagram page, so I gotta look for the picture." So let's see what's the next question.
Instagram en mí. Dice por aquí, dice, Pacho, dice, ando con los de la verdadera cultura.
Oh, he said, so Pacho released a picture saying, "Oh, I'm rolling with the ones of the real culture.
Mejor me callo.
Instead, I'll just be quiet." He just posted a
Hay
picture.
foto de Anuel.
There's a picture of
Hay
Anuel,
foto de, aquí es Kendo Caponi.
Kendall Capone, which is somebody that Anuel's been rolling really tight with.
Hay otro que está, no sé si es DY y él, no sé si, o de la Gueto, no sé quién es el que está al lado. No sé quién es el que está al lado. Y obviamente, lo que me da a entender a mí es que la canción.
So basically, I'm just trying to accelerate this thing, but I gotta stop it due to copyright. So I'm just trying to find out what he's getting at.
Enemigos Ocultos descojonó el género completamente en el sentido de.
So he says basically, Pacho said that they was about the real culture, right? Anuel, Kendall Capone, among some others. Even Daddy Yankee was apparently there, and he's basically saying that the song that Ozuna released called "Hidden Enemies" Enemigos Ocultos, which that's what they refer to of where Ozuna allegedly dissed Anuel.
Que revolcó como que vamos a unirnos todo el mundo y vamos a grabar canciones similares.
Eso está bien.
So Molusco is saying also, since you released that song, it got like everybody hype, and everybody's like, you know, oh, let's get together and let's do a big diss. So like this is song. Anyways, let me continue. I don't want to get y'all bored.
Pero, ¿qué opinas de este comentario de Pacho?
¿Sabes? No sé.
He's like, what do you think about this comment?
Mi respeto a Pacho, mi respeto a todos los muchachos, porque esto es una cultura, eso mismo.
El titular era, Ozuna le tira a Anuel y a Bad Bunny.
No.
Cuando estabas escribiendo, ¿eso lo escribiste tú?
So he's saying that a lot of people when that song came out said, "Oh, people." I mean, news ports were saying that Ozuna dissed Anuel and Bad Bunny. Just for the fact that in the song he says, "I am like I'm the biggest artist."
Claro, se lo escribí.
Cuando pusiste exactamente que dice el más cabrón soy yo, ese es de la canción de Bad Bunny con Anuel, el más cabrón soy yo.
So in the song Hidden Enemies, he released a verse where it says, "I am the biggest artist," and then Ponusco says, "But in the albums from Anuel and Bad Bunny, they both say they're the best artists." So it seems like you said that to put like a stamp on it.
Del disco de
Claro.
Yo hago lo que me da la gana de Bad Bunny.
Claro.
¿Por qué?
Ozuna says, "I wrote that," and I wish he would have shouted out to one of the ghostwriters that writes, because there's a ghostwriter out there that I admire a lot. Anyways, and he writes for a lot of people. But anyways,
Escribe esa línea, tirándole a ellos, no es para dejarlo aclarar aquí, para que la gente
No,
le
la gente tiene que estar clara y qué bueno que me lo pregunta porque lo
he says, "Oh, Molusco says, I just want to clear the air out," and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad you asked me because I want to clear that out."
vi. No te creas que no lo vi. Incluso la canción tenía un verso que hay mucha gente que dice, no, cabrón, cambiaste el verso. Sí lo cambié porque
He says the song had a verse that I changed
no quería que sintieran que le falté respeto.
because I didn't want them to feel that I'm dissing them.
Es como si tú cogieras una canción, como está usándose ahora, a los tiempos de antes, cogieras las canciones de Zion y Lennon. Déjame poner, yo usé en mi disco, con Zion y Lennon en la canción, usé una parte de un tema viejo, ni me acuerdo bien.
So he said he just used he just used a verse from somebody else's song. That's it. That's what he's trying to
está
say.
bien pegado.
Eso está
Eso
pegado.
está haciendo todo el mundo.
¿Por
Cogen
qué?
temas viejos, lo ponen en una
¿Por
estrofita
qué?
y continúan.
He says everybody's doing that. Everybody is grabbing a hook or a verse from some old songs and they're including it in their songs.
¿Por qué no se puede hacer con un tema nuevo y tiene que ser tiradera?
He says, why can I do that? And just because it's a diss song, people have a problem me doing it.
Cabrón, porque eres tú.
Por eso,
Porque
a mí me gusta la canción. Igual
He says, I like the song.
que Anuel, cuando hizo la canción de la Jipeta,
Same for Anuel that when he did the song La Jeepeta or The Jeep.
dice, me gustaría hacer una porno como Ozuna.
He says, I would like to do a porn movie like Ozuna. You see, he's being very direct about when he talks about Anuel. He said, oh, just like Anuel in this song, he said, I would like to do a porn movie like Ozuna where I use, one of his hooks. Oh, you see? You see what I mean? So it's like, oh, you do this, monkey, like monkey see, monkey do. You feel me? So what it do? Like, what's popping? Hold on, man. I hate wearing glasses while I do blogs. They're uncomfortable.
Entonces me está tirando.
Pero te encojonaste.
No me encojo.
And then he says, oh, and Anuel said that. So let's be real. Is he dissing me? Ooh.
Incluso él me lo preguntó.
And he said, I didn't get mad. As a matter of fact, Ozuna asked me. Anuel asked me.
Te molestaste.
Era, voy a sacar esto. Yo me
He said, yo, I'm going to release this song and I'm going to say this in the song.
reí.
He says, I laughed about it.
Me reí porque primero no está diciendo algo que es mentira.
And he says, I laughed because first he ain't saying nothing that's a lie. I feel like Ozuna is lying right now. I feel like if you're my homie and you in a verse, you throw a little line where it says, oh, I want to do a porn like Ozuna, when that was controversial for him, when the porn movie that was around or the porn short was really, it was like a scene where there was like homosexuals in it, which is not bad, like that's your business. But I'm just saying, I'm sure he felt some type of way, especially when this scene came out, him being a couple years married, having kids. You feel me? That thing, I mean, it had been released, but it didn't go public. So you don't think that you as a brother, you should not do things like that because you will make, your brother feel uncomfortable. You see what I mean? You see where I'm going? So.
Verdad, existe una película de Ozuna y es algo que jocoso pega con la canción, no me molesto.
And he says, oh, at the end of the day, I didn't get mad because it matches with the song. So.
O sea, yo te digo una tiradera. Papi, yo te estoy tirando a ti, esto es lo que hay para ti. No es, eso es así, pero eso no es así, me gustó.
He says, when I diss or anybody disses, Anuel, he didn't mention my name, so I don't take the diss for me.
La parte de la canción, incluso tenía otra parte de la canción. O sea, tenía la parte, el más cabrón soy yo, el más cabrón soy yo. Pero la quise cambiar para que la gente ni se sienta que falta.
So he says, in the song, I changed the part where it says, I'm the hardest artist on the globe. I'm the hardest artist on the globe 2 times.
Te respeto ni que le estoy tirando a nadie. Esto es un torneo.
He says, for me, this is like a tournament.
Me gusta la canción, cogí la parte de la canción y la puse en mi canción. No tengo nada de malo como coger las canciones viejas de Zion Lennon.
So yeah, so actually I'm gonna make a correction there. So there's a song that Bad Bunny and Anuel have, and actually it came out in I don't recall. It came out either in Anuel's album, most recent album, or Bad Bunny's. Okay, and in that song they talk about them being the best, and that's why Ozuna took a piece of their song and he put it on his song, which people say that it's a diss.
De lo otro, de aquello, de lo otro. No se sientan mal.
He said, "Yo, people, stop! Don't feel bad."
No se sientan que le estamos tirando a nadie.
¿No te encojonas que de repente hay artistas que le toleran unas cosas y artistas que no? En el caso, por ejemplo, hay artistas
Maluka's like, "Oh, don't you get mad because there's some artists that they could tolerate some things and other artists cannot tolerate things."
como Bad Bunny que le toleran unas cosas. Hay artistas, qué sé yo, como Daddy Yankee que le pueden tolerar algunas
It's like artists like Bad Bunny that people could tolerate certain things but not others. Artists like Daddy Yankee, they could tolerate some things but not others.
cosas. Pero justamente un artista como Ozuna las puede hacer y realmente la misma gente que se la tolera a Bad Bunny y a Daddy Yankee a ti no te las tolera. Eso no es bien cojonante para cualquier artista o para
Don't you get mad? This kind of dumb question.
ti, eso no te encabrona.
Hacho, a mí no me molesta porque es que no todo el mundo va a pensar igual de cada artista.
Ok.
¿Entiendes?
You're like, I don't get mad because not everybody can think about the same artist. Okay,
Si
so
a ti piensan así diferente es porque hay un efecto bueno en ti.
if they think, okay,
A ti te pasa en tu industria.
O en las redes sociales por el estilo porque no, oye, no, yo no soy así y no y aunque sigo el género y estoy
uh, so another ad, people. Yeah, so I'm just gonna click forward a few times to see if there's anything else he talks about Anuel AA. If not, then I think we're gonna be done here. But I just want to make sure I don't miss anything for Kareem.
en el caso tuyo, vamos a hablar de finanzas.
Okay, that's it. Oh well, they talking about money now. So I think this is it.
Después de tantos años, todos jodidos, las mujeres que tuvieron, bueno, en el caso
Pero la gente, los que me hacen, los
cuando tú no te acuerdas de
uno y lo cambio.
hay que botarlo para el carajo.
Okay, so this is it, people. He basically they just started talking about finances and money and stuff like that. So the interview's gonna continue. Like I said, if you guys would like to watch for me to translate this whole video, then let me know. Now, before we finish, I want to express some things though. So they talked about the album that they had mentioned that we're gonna work with. They had mentioned it was gonna be released, but it seems to me like it's either they have a few songs and they want more songs on it, or they just probably made maybe 2 songs and they need to add 7 or 8 more. So that's one thing. Now I'm trying to figure out what could lead to them not collaborating as of late. You know, Ozuna just got released the album, okay? And he didn't have his alleged brother Anuel on it. So that's one thing. The next thing I'm thinking about is like, damn, Bad Bunny is one of the biggest artists out here. Ozuna and Anuel, like they're the top 3, I say, in Puerto Rico. Young ones, you know, youngins that are making it big. How is it that people used to say that Bad Bunny and Anuel had beef, and Anuel had Bad Bunny in his album, and Bad Bunny had Anuel in the album. So you guys talk about being brothers, and Ozuna didn't come out and Anuel's album, and vice versa. Like, for real, like, what's the deal? Okay. Now, I did want to say that there is something very serious going on behind curtains that we don't know about. Now, I could try to point out fingers. I don't want to do that because, you know, most of y'all might be, you know, loyal followers of Ozuna or Anuel. But, like, seriously, this thing about them fronting about being the biggest artist, I don't think it's that. I just think about, I really think, my personal opinion here, I really think what's separating them is the fact that Ozuna had that issue, or, you know, yeah, Ozuna had this issue where they were accusing him of being involved in the assassination of an artist, okay? Not only that, they were saying that he was involved, you know, sexually with this individual. And then, you know, that video comes out of him being in a pornographic scene. And I feel like everything adds up, and I don't know. It's just hard to say. And then a few times I saw them going live, and I just think about it this way. It's like, you remember how Anuel wanted to work with Tekashi, and he was ready. He was doing lives. He was talking to Tekashi the whole time he was prison, right? So sometimes it's that you got people talking in your ear right here. I mean, let's say you got your own little angel right here telling you, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And then you got people over here telling you, or let's say your mind and heart, you feel like it's good, or you feel some type of way towards somebody, and you really want to work a collab, but then you got some people talking over here trying to convince you not to do it. I really think it's somebody, or some people talked to him and told that, no, I don't think you should do this. I mean, tell me who you roll with, and I'll tell you who you are. Or be careful I think it's be careful who you roll with, because I will tell you who you are. Like, people could see you rolling with somebody, and what happens is that they're gonna start judging you for who you rolling with. That's how it is. Like, you might not be a gangster, but you rolling with the Bloods because you got a best friend. He's a Blood. I mean, you can't be judging people, but just an example. Let's say I'm rolling with, not that I'm rolling with the Bloods, but I have a best friend. He just became a Blood because he grew up in poverty, and he just took that route. There's other routes, but he took that route. He didn't have no mama, no papa. His best friends, rode with him when he was going through all the bullying and all this bull. And then just because he's best friends with that Blood kid, they probably think he's a Blood too. Or he's also a gang member. So that's how it is, even with the artists. You gotta understand it. So maybe since Ozuna was going through all that beef and all those problems, Anuel said, man, I want to stay distant. And even though it seems he tried to have a relationship, because there was a few times, maybe like a year ago, I think right before Ozuna released his past album, Anuel and him were talking a few times. It seemed kind of fake though, because let's say Anuel would be doing a live and Ozuna would climb in, and they'll look mad cold, like, hey, oh, what it do? Yeah, we're gonna be working soon. And the people saying, yeah, celebrating, like, oh, when are we gonna do this? And they'll say, oh, soon. So it's kind of weird. It's weird because it seems like they were trying to have some communication, and somebody got involved, talking over here, and boom, cut the relationship off. Like, how is it possible that Ozuna released a song that it sounded like a Royal Rumble because it had many artists and a lot of people were dissing others? How is it possible that you don't invite your so-called brother to collab with you when the song would have been even a bigger hit? You didn't even make one song with a dude you call your brother. Like, if you have a brother, don't you want to see your brother grow too and win? Don't y'all want to win together? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. And all of a sudden now, Anuel, the only dude he calls his brother is Kendall Capone. What? You feel me? And then there's another, gossip going around, people saying that Anuel, the only reason he's helping or he got involved with Kendall Capone was because he had a problem in the hood, and Kendall Capone was, he had a lot of pool. He knew a lot of people from the streets. And if Anuel was rolling with Kendall, then he would put peace, to the beef that other artists and other street people were having with Anuel. And actually, that's what took place. Now Anuel could actually step in Puerto Rico again. Because last time he stepped in Puerto Rico, there was a shootout that happened, and people were saying, oh, that's what y'all get because Anuel came over here. Nobody got killed, but there was a shooting in certain producers' studios. So anyways, people, I just want to say that I'm going to be pending to see if there's anything else that comes up. As of late, a lot of people are saying that Anuel, actually there was a short clip that came out on Anuel's Instagram, and supposedly he was recording his verse on top of Osuna's latest alleged diss track, which is called Hidden Enemies, in Spanish, Enemigos Ocultos. And like, it's kind of weird how he didn't do the song with Ozuna, but supposedly he's hopping on that's the beat from Ozuna with that dude Kendall Capone. So a lot of people are saying, oh, Anuel's gonna diss back Ozuna with his own song. That's kind of tough. So anyways, we're gonna be pending to see if anything pops off with Ozuna and Anuel. Honestly, at this point, I would rather see some beef going on between them. It might be all show because there is artists that like and oh, yo, you know what? Let's start a beef. Let's make this shit get crazy. It'll be good exposure for both of them, even more than what they already have. But anyways, people, this has been the translated part of the interview that my subscriber Kareem asked for. So Kareem, I hope you enjoy this, bro. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you for commenting. And if you have any other thing you want me to do for you, let me know. I apologize for taking a while. And like you see, well, I'm not doing this through Pancho's Place 1 because it got dropped for 7 days. So anyways, thank you, everyone that made it to the end. Don't forget to help me with a like, please. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe. And And anyways, thanks for tuning to Pancho's Place. You already know it's Pancho Villa.